Hello, little quilt peeps. This is Tish from Cotton Candy Quilts in Muncie, Indiana, and I am here with your Quilt Magic Minute for this week. Oh my goodness, you're going to love this. If you are a scrap quilter especially, you will find this tons of fun, and I hear from a lot of you that you do use your scraps. So I am going to show you how to do no pin, no press 4 patches. And let me tell you, you can puddle these through very, very quickly. And the best part is, there's a twist at the end. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get started. So I've chosen some crazy wild fabric from my stash. I am a collector of crazy wild fabric, so I really like the brights. Can you tell? Maybe not. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is start our 4 patch like we would normally start a 4 patch by sewing 2 twos together. Now this is something where if you're doing a bunch that are exactly the same fabric, you'll want to do this in a different way. But if you're using something where all of the 4 patches are different, say using from your stash, this is a great way to do it. So just like normal, I'm going to stack the right side over the left side, and I'm going to line up the edges and send it through with a good 1/4 inch. If I was doing a bunch of these, I would have stacks and stacks of pairs sitting there so that I could chain piece them as fast as I possibly could. Notice no dirt gathers under my feet. I am a fast sewer. So if you were doing a whole stack of those, you would have piles of them behind your machine, and I would cut them every 2 so that you've already got them paired up. And I am actually not going to trim in between the pairs. I'm just going to open them up. Okay, here's where the magic comes in. After you have them opened up, and as you can see, my thread is still in between there, I'm going to flip one on top of the other, and here's the magic part. I'm going to pull this so that the seams match, and you can see that right up there at the top, and then I'm going to flip them and scooch the seams together. There is no pins in there, and if you notice, this is probably backwards to what you usually do it. My seam is pressed upwards toward the sewing machine foot, which seems counterintuitive because you think, oh, I'm going to have to stop and push that down. But here's the magic part. The way your machine works, when you stitch with this toward your foot, it is going to shove the pieces together for you without you having to make any adjustments. So the motion of the machine itself is going to squish your pieces together. So let's do this. And I am going to use a stiletto to hold that top down, but you could also use, well, I guess that's what this is. I'm using the seam ripper to hold this down, feeding it back through, and when I get close, I'm just holding down on the edge so that my foot doesn't flip that up. And you will see when I get done that the center is absolutely correct. There is no space there. It is absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. It's because the machine helps put it together. Now, watch this. If you've ever done these, you know when you press, you end up with bulk in the center. If you hand that off to a long armer and they go through that, they can break a needle. Or if they go around it in some way, then it sort of poofs up a little bit, and we don't want that to happen. So if you look at my piece, you can tell that this seam is pushed over and I can't see all of the block, and this piece is pushed over and I can't see all of the block. But I can see all of this block because the seam allowance is showing there, and I can see all of this block. So what I'm going to do is just push this up toward the seam and this down toward the seam and do a little twist. And there you have it, the smallest 4 patch in the world, and that center seam is completely flat. So now when you press it, this isn't any thicker than this. So when you quilt, whether you're doing that on your domestic machine or you're having it long-armed, it'll be nice and flat for you. So please like our YouTube page or our Facebook page, or sign up for email, and you can have all of these tips every single time I do them. Thanks for watching.